Hello, everybody. It's Mark Sage again, the Executive Director of the area, and I'm excited to welcome probably our newest area member, Dinesh from Immersive Insiders. Dinesh, welcome to the area. It's a great opportunity to find out a little bit about yourself, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. So um, maybe we'll start, just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your company.
Cool, that sounds great. Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. And my name is Dinesh. I've been in the AR and VR field since 2016 now, teaching AR and VR development over a lot of different areas. So I've been working in the medical field, interior design, manufacturing, education, gaming, a couple of others too. So this is something where I'm super, super passionate about AR and VR. And I mean, now we can focus on the AR part with the
Yeah.
area, of course. So let's stick to AR. Um, yeah, founded my company Immersive Insiders in 2018 while working full time as an XR developer. And what do we do at Immersive Insiders? We help to bridge the XR community and the XR industry. So we create educational XR content in form of courses, live streams, challenges, everything. We try to upskill the community, teach them all the fundamental essential skills they need to know to build high quality, good XR experiences, and then kind of like pick them and bring them into the industry. Because I think this is something very, very needed. Because when I started, there was like no educational material online. It was quite frustrating also. So I just started randomly teaching my content on YouTube back then, also in 2018. And yeah, it got so much resonance that I just started to build a business around it, which is now called Immersive Insiders.
Fantastic. And you're absolutely right. One of the key strategic pillars of the area is about the educate side. It's really about closing the AR skills gap. So let me ask you a few questions. What are the challenges in the AR industry in terms of people finding jobs and company finding qualified XR professionals? What's your view?
Yeah, I think something which probably everybody in the field agrees on is that this field is changing really fast. So there's like new headsets coming up all the time, new SDKs. Unity has a new version. This SDK is outdated. This is updated. This is being shut down. So there's like so much movement happening that the people of the community, they don't know exactly what to learn, what not to learn, what to focus on. Companies
Mm.
don't know what profiles to exactly look for, because again, it's like always changing and it's like such a new thing. There are a lot of jobs that didn't exist like a couple of years ago, and there will be jobs that will exist in a couple of years that don't exist right now. So there's like a really big shift happening. And then most importantly, educators don't know what to teach exactly, and most important, they usually also teach outdated stuff. Because if you produce something, and this happened to us a couple of times back then, now we've kind of found a system to prevent it. But if you teach something and it takes too long to produce the materials, then they are outdated within a couple of months already. And this is kind of also really, really difficult because, again, like Unity comes up with a new version, or Unreal, or any game engine, but then the headsets change, the features change, the needs change. It's just crazy how much all of this evolves. And I think this is something where we try to be really focused on by being all immersed in teaching XR development and design.
No, and it's really important. Everything moves so quickly. So,
Yeah.
so let me add that. So, how can enterprises, obviously the area has a number of enterprises, and we speak to ones across the ecosystem. How can they leverage the AR and XR community to better achieve its kind of business goals? What kind of things can they do to really make sure they have those trained staff?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for the enterprises really is to be more involved in the community, and this could mean anything really. But what I mean by that is, first of all, kind of like create a social presence, focus on this one, whether it's LinkedIn or YouTube or any other kind of thing. Probably LinkedIn and YouTube are the best ones to be more involved on the social side, definitely, because nowadays, if you don't have like a social media presence, kind of you don't exist. It's kind of crazy. Again, it's not like judging whether it's good or bad. It's just kind of the facts, really. But that is definitely one thing. Kind of like be engaged in these social platforms. That helps a lot already in kind of getting awareness and being connected to the community. Next, also try to, or something that could help is really like creating events, so hackathons, challenges, game jams, or any meetups live live events, all of these things that involve people coming together. Because nowadays, especially with AI, you can create content like this. Basically, it doesn't have much value anymore. You can just go to ChatGPT, print out like a huge blog post, post it, and nobody cares, and everybody can do that. So I think it's getting more and more and more important to create this human connection. And this is also something where other creators and influencers, whatever you want to call them, can help actually the enterprises. So we at Immersive Insiders, we work closely, for example, with Ready Player Me. We did like a lot of cool things together. Meta also, and a couple of other bigger companies. So this is also something where it just helps to kind of promote your own things even more, to get awareness, to be associated with these other influencers is also actually really helpful. So this is like kind of like a shortcut, but the best way is build your own presence, but also collaborate with others and create your own events. This is like kind of like the mini version of all of it.
And I couldn't agree more. And I think, you have these events that go on all the time.
Mm.
Just a reminder for the members and for the listeners out there, the area is running a
Exactly.
physical event. Yeah, that's right. We're doing that in the UK in a place called Gateshead, which is close to Newcastle. I know, Dinesh, you're going to be there as well, but
Yep.
it's really important in my eyes when it comes to this technology. Yes, you need to learn it, but you also need to experience it,
Mm-hmm.
and have that opportunity to speak to like-minded people about what problems can be solved and what challenges need to be overcome and what kind of ROI will be there. So you can find it on the area website under the events page, and you'll be able to meet Dinesh and I in person there as well. So, but let's come on to the last question, which I
Mm-hmm.
really like, because this is something I get asked a lot, and I'm
Ah.
sure you do. Okay, so how can enterprises that are really interested in immersive technology and AR get started without wasting a lot of money? What kind of simple things can you do, and what can the ecosystem do to help them?
Yeah, first of all, join communities like the area or other communities. I think that is already really helpful to be in contact with like-minded people. So, I mean, area kind of makes sense if you're an enterprise. So, of course, you will find a lot of people who already went through the challenges, the struggles, who already wasted or like took the learning to build these skills on finding out what is actually needed to build these use cases. I think this is something really important. Learn from others and don't make the same mistakes as others already did. So you can reach out to Mark, to me, to anybody who has some experience already, and they can probably help you already in not doing the same mistakes over and over again. I think this is something extremely important. Whenever I want to learn something new, I try to find some experts in the field, and then I just directly learn from them and from their mistakes. Next, I think it's important to have something concrete on mind. So something I think you already talked a lot about it, Mark. Is like you don't want to be like, hey, I have a headset. I have like 20 headsets. So what should we do now? It's like that's kind of the wrong way. You actually want to solve a problem and then use immersive technologies or AR as a tool to solve a problem, and not have the headsets, have all of these things, and then figure out what you want to build. So I think this is really, really important that you kind of like exactly figure out what you want to do, because that helps you to narrow what technology are you going to use. Are you going to use head one AR? Are you going to use VR? Are you going to use an iPad? Are you going to use this and this combination? There's a lot of different specifics that come into, and this heavily depends on the use case and not based on the color of the headset. I had a company who decided which headset to take because the headset were white and the company had like a white kind of design, and they're like, yeah, we have a white design, let's take a white headset. That is not how you should do it.
That's not the way to do it. No, no, no,
Exactly.
definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, the last thing is really try to build smaller pilot projects and then see how it goes, really. Especially nowadays, you can prototype your experiences already without going into full-fledged production. So this is already really, really helpful. So there are like lots of smaller things. I think we both can talk about them all day long based on experience, really. But this is exactly what is like. You just try to learn from somebody who has done it a couple of times.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And we often say, as a kind of a final comment, it's plan big to make sure you get everybody within the organization bought in, the security, the safety teams,
Mm.
the stakeholders, but deliver small.
Oh yeah, oh
Build
yeah.
those
Start small.
prototypes.
Start small.
Start small, absolutely. Get the awareness, get the prototype working, solve real business problems, and then it will grow. But really get the people involved, because there will be some of the potential backers, but can be some of the stoppers when it comes to these projects.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
Fantastic. Well, as I mentioned, Dinesh will be in Gateshead, but Dinesh, I know, look forward to working with you as
Hmm.
you work with the other area members. Thank you very much for your time today. And remember, guys, Immersive Insiders there to help out. Thank you very
All
much.
right, thanks for having me.